we're only going to talk about top 5. Actually, no, we don't care about top 5. We care about top 3 and bottom 5. Okay, cool. So, and Miksama has questions about why do you have Ladiva so low, and why do you think Cerise is better than Ladiva?
Basically, I think Ladiva got so many issues this match that matchups got like even worse, and they were already, even when she was good, she was like unstable, right? Because there was like a half of the cast that she just kind of smoked, and then another half of the cast that beat her pretty not easily, but like they definitely beat her, and it's only gotten worse with nerfs. I mean, she can still smoke you with RPS, but I'm not gonna lie, it's just I don't see much of a point in playing her anymore because it's just so lame how I don't know. Like even the King of Grapplers doesn't play her. Like, what do you want me to say about
The,
this? That's bad.
the king of grapplers. Are you talking about Koji Cock?
Yes. Why did you say it like that? But yeah, if you have someone whose name is King of Grapplers, that's what they're known as in the FGC. That's what they've made their name as for like 10 plus years now, and they drop the grappler. There's a freaking problem.
Well then, uh, I mean, we could all agree that Belial is the best grappler in the game.
We can agree Belial's the best everything in the game. But honestly, for the sake, like, since it is my tier list, for the sake of saying it, like, if you wanted to put her higher, you could, but she definitely doesn't belong on that, like, you see that line where it's above the left right?
Yeah, the X-axis.
She does not belong anywhere near there. She has to be under it, at least for mine, for sure.
Noted.
Would hard argue her going in that line. But if you put her on like the Soris line, that's fair. With Soris, he's like okay. We don't really have enough Soris here to talk about him like that. We just have sub Soris and like some Soris players that don't ever really enter, so you can't see them.
I'm about to
Right?
learn. I'm about to learn stories again. Let's see how long that takes. As long as I avoid a Belial, I will relearn stories. A good Belial. Max Sama said he's gonna prove that Ladiva is the best character.
I mean, if you can, go for it.
He's just gonna auto combo 50-50.
Game would be more exciting if he could do that. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yes. Show everyone who picked up Belial that they were wrong for picking up Belial and they need to learn Ladiva. All right. So yeah. So wait, for your tier list is right is it's from right to left or left to right. I'm assuming it's left to right.
There is no left right. I just use that chart for the sake of like putting the
Oh.
line properly.
Okay.
It's just top down.
Okay. So Belial first, Lancelot second. All of these characters are third. Catalina is fourth. All of these characters are fifth. Matera sixth. Ladiva seventh. Noted.
Yeah, actually.
Diaphone. Is he alive? Did he come back?
I'm alive.
Okay, yeah, he's alive.
I think.
So you have Sorisa's worst. Ladiva's second worst. Grand is third worst, or is it the other way around?
It's probably Ladiva's second worst, but they are on the same like list. It's not ordered left to right.
So. Okay.
But yeah, I guess ask like how we should probably do this instead of all of us going through our whole list is like maybe you ask us on our hot takes, like what looks off
all right,
on this tier list compared to other tier lists.
All right, so I actually wanted to talk to you about that. So you think Fairy is the third best character, or
tied for third?
Yeah, tied for third best character in the game.
Yeah, I think she's really good. I think she obviously took some nerfs, but so did the rest of the cast, and she actually got some pretty good buffs in return. That one, the main buff being the plus on block dive kick, right? And so yes, she takes a little more skill to play now, I guess you could say, or she takes a different skill set because you have to be able to rush down and that sort of thing. But the fact that other characters got nerfed and she still has her main tool set intact, like she can still do EX whip, pull you in, get the 50-50 out GG. Her install's still crazy, her zoning's still really good, and now she can rush you down with a plus one block dive kick. Yeah, I think she just has such a complete tool set that, while it does take a while to master, I think it's really good. And I think Mochi is probably the closest to showing off that complete tool set right now. And you guys will see at Rage how strong this character is, in my opinion.
Okay, so compared to bases, there's not much off.
Can I say one thing about mine since I see it's apparently someone asked about Gran?
Sure.
Essentially, when they nerfed fireballs across the cast and they nerfed Boot, they made him lose a lot more matchups. Like Fossaraga comes to mind immediately. It's not that you needed Boot to win neutral, but you needed it to stop certain characters like that from getting set up. So it's gone, and his combo damage going down on top of him not being able to kill you from anywhere also hurt him. You could argue he could go a little higher, but I don't think he also I don't think belongs in that other line because his matchup spread's just like kind of whack now. And personally speaking, if you want to play a Shoto character, you're better off playing Cat, Percival, Cheetah, Belial, Narmaya, any of these other ones over
Yeah.
Gran.
Okay, I agree
So
with
on my
that.
tier list, that's pretty much the same reason. I thought is like, why would you play Graham when you can play Belial?
Yeah.
I mean, you could say that about a good amount of characters, but I don't know. Yeah, Grant just feels like he got hit by the universal nurse harder, and yeah, Boot took a big nerf too.
Yeah, you could say why play X character when you could pick Belial, he's stronger, but Gran literally is the same playstyle as Belial, but infinitely worse.
All right, I agree with that. We have Jesus Christ, fame. All right, so damn, he says all hell, crazy. So fame, as my understanding, you have La Diva as the worst character in the game.
Yep.
Noted. I think all things Jesus, why do you have Zeta so low?
Don't worry, we're all wondering that, but whatever.
Like I was looking for. I'm like, okay, Fabe, I kind of agree with your tier list to a degree, and I'm just like, wait, where's Zeta? And I'm like, oh shit, this man has Zeta hella low. So yeah, why is Zeta so low? I guess would be my first question.
So with Zeta in particular, it's not so much that I think she's like a lot weaker per se, but it's more so matchups. Because when I look over Zeta and I look at some of these other characters, like what matchups is she really winning outside of like Soares, Lil Wayne, maybe Charlotta? Like a lot of those characters that are higher than her not only have like more matches that they do well in, or some matches they win harder in.
So this is gonna be a question for me, but what matchups does Beelzebub win?
I think he beats all the Shotos. So I think he does fine against Lancelot. You could argue he beats Vasaraga, but I personally think it's even.
Okay.
And then he also is one of the better characters I find Belial overall, despite the risk reward.
Okay, I was just wondering because I'm just thinking to myself like, yo, I think this character is really annoying, but my matchup against him is literally almost exactly the same. So I'm just thinking to myself like,
in terms of like other matches, like he beats Narmaya. Like, yeah, I guess you would consider her a show. So, like a lot.
Shotos have trouble pinning Beelzebub down. Actually, even Belial feels it to an extent, but it's it's Belial, right? So
I mean, he outzones all of them because his projectiles are really stupid. and he has more range, and the jumping is annoying. But yeah, his main weakness is obviously the weak risk reward overall. So it just depends if your character can punish that.
Super Saiyan Cat, I actually don't think Percy is that good versus Bubs. I'd probably
Not anymore. Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore.
I'd probably argue that matchup is even right now. So I didn't just to take a quick side note, I didn't make a matchup chart for Percival, but if I was to make one for him, I would probably say that like more than half the cast he goes even with. Like I feel like so for anyone who's played Street Fighter Season 1, the theory was that Ryu didn't beat a lot of characters, he went even, and I feel like Percival is at a place right now where he doesn't really beat anyone. It's just a lot of even matchups. Like if I was to take Fame's, if I was to like look at Fame's chart right now, I really don't have a clear cut matchup where I see Percival winning just downright. I would argue that he possibly goes even with Belial, definitely goes even with Lance, definitely goes even with Char, loses to Saraga for sure. Zoe might be even or in Percival's favor. There were some system mechanic nerfs that they changed to Zoe that I really didn't like in regards to her hurt box. So beforehand, Percival got like exclusive combos on Zoe to the point where like the mid screen combo, like the traditional EX low mid screen combo, wasn't really a factor for Zoe because he had a much better alternative, but they took that out of the game. Fairy.
Oh, sick! I thought that was still in there.
No, that
Let's go.
you're talking about the EX. You're talking about the EX Fireball 5M thing, right? Yeah, they took that out. Yeah, that's out. That's out the game. You could possibly argue that he beats Fairy. Bubs, I'd say even. Narmaya, I'd say slight advantage possibly. Zeta, I'd say even. Jita, Oki's gonna kill me later, but I'm glad he's not here right now. I would possibly say
I'm
even.
listening.
Fuck. Cat Gran. So I think he might do better against Shotos. Like he might have a slight advantage versus the Shotos. So Catalina, I could definitely see Percival beating. Jita, I think might be the only Shoto he goes even against. Gran, he's definitely beating. Lorraine beats Kag. I don't have enough information. Sari's slight. He wins, but it's not as bad as it was before. Ladiva, I think it's even. I don't know how they made this matchup even, but they made it even. Or at worst, Percival wins slightly. Matera, I think, will always win. I mean, whoa, I'm bugging. I'm capping. Don't clip that. Percival beats Matera. Percival beats Matera, okay? Percival beats Matera. I just fucked up and had like a brain fart and I was thinking something completely different. The one that's like probably be like questionable is the one that's probably questionable is possibly like Percival Catalina and Percival Matera, but I don't think that Matera has the tools to keep Percival. What the fuck? Let's take a key off my keyboard. 1 second. So you know I'm not lying. No. Okay, wait, is this no, this is Fames. Yeah, so I think Percival Cat is still like as crazy as it was beforehand, but Cat losing Cat, I think the thing that makes the difference is that Percival has stocks that allow him to do what he was doing last season. Catalina does not. So while the neutral game is like still crazy volatile, one of us explodes, I think the fact that I could secure a knockdown slightly easier and still threaten the same range as you, but better, makes it slightly like if I was to, I wouldn't say 5.5, but I would argue like 5.2. Matera, I don't like. I just gotta put you on your back, fam. That's it. That's all I really have to do. The moment I put you on the back, I feel like I've won the game already. I just think it's like it might be slightly harder, but my range and the fact that you can never 5U me because of my easy input DP will always make this like Okay, whatever. I just gotta wait. Like it's just a war of attrition for me, but I eventually will win the war of attrition. So yeah. I don't know. I'll probably make a formal Percival tier list after this, after the round table is done. But yo, Chris, we can run the fade after. That's all I'm saying. We can run the fade. I don't think Percival has ever lost to Matero.
On that note, though, are there any questions about this list? Because I actually ordered mine left to right.
I don't. Should you get GranBlue? Yes. 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 Wait. You think Cag? Wait, you think Cag Leostra is worse than Lwane?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one. I might need an explanation on.
So Lwane, this patch is like. So like his buttons are still not the greatest, but unlike Cag, he can like consistently convert those buttons into knockdown now. Because of like the EX like slash buff. Put him on the back. Then like Oki's still really consistent. Had some new setups this patch. Just like it's generally a lot easier for him to get the game plan started. Is why I have him higher at the moment.
So do you think this is like like it could possibly change in the near future? Like let's say you doesn't change anything about Cag or Lwane. Do you think it's possible for Cag to eventually be better than Lwane?
I have a hard time with that because I don't know if her matchups will get any better just because of the way her neutral works. It's possible for them to beat same strength, but I don't think she'll become better than Lwane.
Okay. All right. I don't see any other questions. All right, so I'm just preparing you guys to know now. So Jan and Mac are questioning. So far, it's Diaphone, Fame's, and Bace's opinion on Ladiva being a bottom 3. Yes, Cag is the girl that is winking. So I feel like at some point we will have to discuss why do we treat Ladiva so lowly, but that's just to let you guys know what's gonna happen in preparation next. Whose is this? This is Oki's. Oki. Shit, I might actually. So if Oki was to swap Vasaraga and wait, is this left to right, or is it not ordered?
Yeah, for the most part, it's left to right. Don't mind Namaya being at the bottom next to Soras and the Diva. She's on the same tier as like Cat and them. It's just that.
Oh, you didn't have the room.
Space.
No. Okay. Yeah. So if anyone did not hear him, Narmaya is not the same tier as Soris and Ladiva. Narmaya is on the same tier as Narmaya is on the same tier as everyone above her, but he just ran out of space. That's it.
Why so didn't you just make the closer?
Wait, not listen.
I just realized. Wait, what? Whatever. Go. No.
Wait, so Naji, who's bottom 3 then?
Oh, bottom 3? You really want to know?
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely. I was debating on putting Matera down there with the bottom 3, but honestly, Matera definitely has the better results than Soris and fucking Ladiva, and obviously she could fight half the cast. There's no way you're gonna sit there and tell me look Matera's low tier when she's literally just top 8 rage. She's multiple events actually, and this is post nerf.
So who's bottom 3?
I'll probably still put. Yeah, honestly, I don't see Maya. I'm only gonna say Maya is still gonna be bottom 3. Only because listen, she's going to be 3 until I see some results. I have not seen Maya do anything whatsoever.
I've seen Maya exist though.
If I may talk for a second, Narmaya just got 9th at Rage and beat Gamera.
It's not top 8.
He beat your main character out of the tournament, by the way. So I just wanted to mention that. Yeah, you can go ahead. I just wanted to mention that.
Listen, I'll play. Listen. I mean,
I just want to point out, right? I just want to point out, right? I just want to say this like really quickly. When I made this concept of gym leaders, right? I knew ahead of time that Naji would be the poison gym leader, and I said explicitly he would only pick poison because the man's as toxic as hell. Y'all didn't believe me. Y'all doubted me. I've known Naji for years. Naji's toxic. Naji's toxic.
How is Narmaya what?
Listen, my stance will always stay the same. All right, listen, the struggles are in the bottom half of the tier list, okay? For the most part,
No. Hold up. Even if we were to give you, okay, so if we gave you the placement things with Matera, cool, that's cool, bro. That's fine. I really don't think Matera's that shit myself, actually, despite where I put her. But if you're using that logic, why is Narmaya the one down there, not Gran? What has Gran done this version besides make people switch to other characters?
A lot of Gran players play Bilal now. Actually, all of them?
I feel like all Soto players.
I feel like Dash is playing Jita, Noble's playing Bilal.
Actually, Noble is playing Exerd Rev 2 and not playing GranBlue.
Come on. Narc Revo, they played Bilal.
Yeah, like hands down, you already know Bilal's the best character in the game. Top 5, like I said, we all pretty much agree with the top 5. Vasaraga, fuck Vasaraga.
Fuck Vasaraga. Agreement.
Fairy, I do think that she did fall off, but not too hard. I've actually played a couple of prominent more fairies, and I think she can still do some work, but she's definitely not as strong as she was back in season 1. It's a definite, and I hope she stays how she is now. Like I think she's a way better iteration for the game than what she was before. Like I said, stop underestimating this damn character because he will scrub you out.
Yo, Naji, no cap. I think this character has traumatized you. Like
it's not like I hate the character. I just don't like the fact that they buffed a joke character and made him good. You buffed the character, and I always say that.
Like
his super is not designed to like he doesn't have a regular super. You're not fighting him anymore. You're fighting everything around him.
Like son, I feel like if I wanted to frustrate you in this game, I wouldn't even pick Percival. I would pick Loain because I know you always get tilted at Loain. I've seen you lose to Loains. I feel like if I was to side bet on you versus a Loain, the amount of money you would have lost me losing to this character would have been OD. But that's just my opinion.
Well, you didn't play him, so.
Is my stream flickering for anyone?
Sorry, because I'm trying to get away from
chair is disappearing out of existence.
My chair's disappearing.
I think this Narmaya take is the hottest take of
Yeah, I think that might be the hottest take. I think that might be the hottest take of it.
I have it here, right? So my thing is with Narmaya is like I said earlier, she's not in the best. She's not in the best environment. What we have right now is what we have. You're not seeing Narmaya anywhere right now. Until offline comes back, she is not going to be a prominent member of this game until offline.
In the offline bracket, she literally just got 9th, and also Okuskemi is doing pretty well on net play too. So
do not disrespect the god Okuskemi.
My little Okuskemi, and fucking some shit. She's saying right.
Not only is your mic dying, I know the ghost of Okuskemi is gonna come haunt you the next time you enter battle second.
Insane,
so this got so dork out of nowhere.
Naji, fix your mic. You're cutting in and out.
So Naji, here's my problem here. So Rage top 24 was offline, and then all before that was online. Those Narmayas got through that online bracket with who knows how many Belials.
And Lances.
And Lancelots. And that Narmaya also beat Gamera, who's still going strong and got nice. Like, who did that Narmaya lose to? Was it Belial?
What? It was probably Bilal 10 times out of 10.
I'll look it up later. But like, you cannot sit here and tell me a character that actually got sizably buffed, as well as like gotten results offline before, is bottom 3.
And so boom. So we're gonna switch Narmaya and we're gonna put Green down there. How about that?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Right, so like if we could somehow switch the image, I doubt it. But like you're
I
just gonna
see
like
who the Narmaya lost to.
Io.
It was Io Matera.
Yeah, I already know. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
But besides that, yeah, Percival, yeah, he went down a bit. You know, Beelzebub definitely got some sizable buffs, so he could definitely fight most of the cast. Not much of an issue. Matera, like I said, Matera got results. She's honestly not as bad as everyone thinks she is. They kind of already dismissed the character, like as soon as the patch came in. But she definitely got better. But I can't say she got better, but I do think Matera players learned how to play her better due to her nerfs.
I think we might need to talk about Matera later.
Yeah, we might need to.
All I know is about
shadows...
all I know is the old man Chris about to come run his fade with you in a couple minutes.
Like I said, the shadows are on the lower end of the spectrum. The universal changes kind of gut them for pretty well. I hope that they do revert some of those changes, but you know that's where it stands. And Ladiva gets cucked. Everyone has swords. She's just trying to tackle people and slam them. So it's the neutral for Ladiva just got gutted pretty hard. Ladiva can still do well. I do think this is a totally solid balanced game, but as it stands right now, I don't think Ladiva can really make too much noise unless someone messes up.
Yeah, I think people are forgetting that the lowest tier in this game, in my opinion, currently is B tier.
Same.
But
Yeah.
so being bottom 3 in a game with B tier character, the lowest tier is B tier, is not necessarily a bad thing. It just says that other characters have access to more tools than your character does. That's it. So now that we're off of...
there is no bad characters. Think of it like this: there's no bad characters, but there are characters better than other characters.
Yeah. So now we're off of Hot Take Oki. We have Omni.
I heard my name.
Your tier list, fam.
Girl.
All right, let's go.
So
These are the hot takes of mine, right?
the only hot take that I would see is that you think Zeta is better than Vasaraga.
Oh no, I stand by that.
I see another hot take actually. Cheating.
I'm about to say Gina next to Lorraine. I'm like,
Wait,
So
right to left? Right to left? Oh, no, it's equal within tiers. Okay. I think the only other hot take is I'd probably move Cheetah up 1 tier.
I'm like, the only reason I kept it there, but I didn't get another G's opinion, is I think the other thing I was thinking she would have been higher, but here I am watching I think it was a tournament with MBK, and he's fighting Bisu, Velio, and I'm reasonably thinking, I'm pretty sure Cheetah could just space the hell out of freaking Belio, no problems. The person with the better newts to be able to win newts, right? And he's like, no, going against Belio is suicide. And once I heard that, I was like, oh, then this character must be better. One of the best Cheetahs is saying sucks. So I'm so I rated her a little lower. But after hearing Naji go over her her match with her earlier, and even Bace having his short take on Cheetah, I was like, yes, he can go up. So I actually agree he could go up to the upper tier. That's no problem. As far as my bottom 3, definitely just throwing Grand right there. I think honestly, yeah, Cat's definitely better than Grand, so I would put Grand at bottom 3, Cheetah in the upper bracket, and that's pretty much the only change I would make so far.
Yeah, I probably would have nothing to disagree about that. So Omni we went through pretty quickly. This is Real Ice.
Real flame.
Yo, real flame.
Okay. So one thing I want to say is that I never gave you my updated list. I actually want to put Jita. I want to put Jita higher. Just like one row higher. But everything after Lancelot is not ordered like at all.
Everything after Lancelot is not. Oh, you talking about the tier Lancelot is in, or the character himself?
No, so okay. Just imagine Lancelot is slightly higher, like not up there with.
Why didn't you just?
Oh, listen. Let me rock. Let me rock. Okay, so look, Lancelot is better than the other four, but he's not as good as Bilal.
So why did you just? Okay,
Right?
you know what? You got it,
Bro,
fam.
let me chill. Well, look. But yeah, that's it. I mean,
Yeah, your name is Real Flame at this point. I will refer to you as Real Flame.
Okay, so
Either-
before we
so,
skid over this,
Mhm.
we gotta talk about
Real
Jita.
Flame. Yo, Real
We
Flame.
she's higher.
No,
Out
he just
Latifa?
wait, no, he just said Vegeta is one place higher in his new tier list, right?
All right.
Let's talk about
Let's
Latifa,
excuse
though. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm pretty-
Latifa. Let's go.
hold on.
Okay, listen. This character still kills you if she hits you one time. Like how? What's like? How is she not good? Like I don't understand.
Bro, the neutral.
Bro,
One hit.
hit the monster in neutral.
One hit. That's all I can say. One hit, bro.
Okay. Look. Okay. So Tempest speaking here, right? I think I memed the hell out of Latifa the first two versions because I hate this character. But real talk, this version, losing that 5M max range into headbutt is huge. That means not only do you not get a damage conversion, you don't get a pressure conversion either. So that means if you stay at optimal range, she's not touching you
Okay.
at all.
Okay. But can I say something though?
Okay.
Safe jump command throws.
Oh my god.
That's Scrubby. No, I agree with you. That's Scrubby. No.
Safe jump command throws.
No. Makes no sense.
She needs that.
She should no.
She needs it, but how is that bottom three? I don't understand. Like, how do you have a safe jump from a command throw and be bottom
All
three?
right, ice.
Flame. There's
All
no
right,
here. Flame.
no. Hold up. This isn't even going to be a hard argument, but rather, I'm going to pose you a question.
Okay.
Who does she beat?
Hold on, I got the good music to accompany this. I was prepared.
We're giving you the floor here. Who does she beat?
Hold on, I got you right now. Hold on.
Cerise. She beat Cerise.
No, she does.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One. This doesn't. Listen, hold on. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. She hits you once. I don't care.
Good.
No, it's not the same. It's not the well. No, it's not the same. But I don't care. I actually don't
4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
Rip Lil Wayne.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think very.
Yeah,
highly of,
rip to Alex Trebek. Pain.
That was pretty funny.
Wait,
I will.
I don't think I'll get DMCA'd for that.
I will die on this hill. Like
So
you know,
who was your bottom three actually?
Matera, Lil Wayne, Cerise.
Okay.
All right. Here's
Okay.
mine. This is ordered, left to right. I don't know if there's any hot takes here.
The Skyrim Adventurer is under Latifa.
It's not that hot. That is not that hot of a take.
Who's
I know.
Scotty?
I think that's Naji.
Wait, what happened?
I think it's Omni actually.
Wait, is it on? Oh
Wait,
no.
Wait, what happened? I'm confused.
So
My thought on that though is I know Grant's not very good
Actually,
this
it's both
version.
of them. It's both of them.
Oh, okay.
They're
I
both
know
good.
Grant's not very good this version, but I do think his matchup spread and general playstyle is way more stable than Ladiva at the end of the day, which is why I would say he's worse. Like maybe if they were in the same tier, but worse.
So
He also still has
Ladiva,
the +2M, which is good.
Ladiva bottom tier to a decent comment. I don't know about that. For decent, I just pick Percival and I poke. That's and he'll
so
do 2U and I kill him for doing 2U. But I don't.
whose list is this again?
This is mine.
Teiga's.
All right, so are we just gonna not put respect on Narmaya's name right
I
now?
mean, it's the other one, but I was looking.
I'm very saying like, bro, you can't do bottom 5. Bullshit.
That was my second comment because I mean the one that popped up to me was Grand because I'm like, what?
Let me say something real quick.
What's
This
up?
goes for both the bottom tiers and the top tiers. If you actually looked at everyone's list, you would realize that there's like some form of region bias in all the lists. Lots of like, there's some I don't play Narmaya, she's low, and there's a lot of well, I enter NLVC, so you see Vasaraga, Zoe, Charlotta, Lancelot, and there's another character. Oh, Zeta in like top 5s through a lot of y'all actually.
So I actually think those are like the. So I actually do think Belial, Lancelot, Charlotta, Vasaraga, Zeta is top 5 in my order.
I mean, Belial doesn't count. All right, if anyone says he's not top 1, they don't know this game. I'm sorry. I will die on that hill for sure.
So I tried to order it as best as possible, but so from Percival to Fairy, you can like swap or you can like move them around, and I'd probably still agree. I'm not really like too concrete on an order for Percival to Fairy. I'm not too concrete on an order from Bubs to Jita. Narmaya could be potentially moved up a tier, but every time I fight Narmaya, I feel like, why play this character? Like Narmaya. So like outside of Grand, Narmaya is like the other character. I feel like, why play this character when you can play XYZ? In that case, Grand. I just feel like Grand is like, I don't feel so like from season 1 till now. I think like the biggest indication of change is like the mid screen threat is lacking. So because of that lack of a mid screen threat, I'm like, okay, I just have to wait because I know you'll eventually kill yourself. Like if you play a character, so I guess in regards to my characters who have like good anti fireball approaches, Lance with 2U and Percival with DP, it's just like, okay, I just gotta wait. I really just have to wait here, and the moment you throw a fireball, I'm chilling because I know you're not gonna boot me, because if you boot me, you'll possibly die for it. So your mind is too made up on trying to throw a fireball in order to try and win neutral than it does with boot. So I'm just like, okay, all I have to do is just play the waiting game, and then I'm fine. Narmaya is always a weird place for me, despite fighting Okaskemi several times. It's just like, I don't see what this character is good at. And then on top of that, like, the one thing she did have, I don't even want to call it a gimmick, but like the one strong tool she did have, which was like EX flashes, they somehow made that more unsafe, and I don't know why they did that. So now you went from like being -7 to -8, and now it's worse because I can kill you worse. So
wait, I have an argument for that though.
What?
Why are you just throwing out EX flashes anyway?
I mean, do you not know a Narmaya that will try to do EX dash into EX slash?
I'm saying you can just confirm it. It's not even hard.
Yo, fam, net play.
All right, fair.
Oh, -6 to -7. My bad. So like Lance can do. Oh yeah, it's -6 to -7. So like Lance gets a free 5H punish. Percival gets a free sweep punish. I'm like, what? Like, you're doing all this to get out the corner, and now you're taking a risk that may or may not pay off. And if it doesn't pay off, you may actually just die. So it's just like, there's really like, and I forgot there was a Mexican Narmaya I played, and I don't know how this happened, but he got mad at me because I lamed him out with Lancelot. And I'm just like, if I have a life lead versus Narmaya, and I just choose to sit back and just throw fireballs and just wait, what does Narmaya like? Outside of like Setsuna, I'm like, what can she really do in order to like threaten me? Because I'm just like, okay, I'll just wait. So I don't feel like I feel like her presence isn't as threatening the moment you get a life lead, in my opinion. So it's just like, okay, you're there, but it's just like I feel like if you're losing to Narmaya, you're not really losing to Narmaya. You're losing to I want to put it like I don't want to say character ignorance, but you're losing to yourself. Like you fucked up somewhere along the lines, and you didn't fuck up just like once or twice, which you can do like versus top. Oh, Bubs is just a quick side note. Bubs is A tier on my tier list, by the way. But so I wouldn't consider that low. But I feel like if you're losing to Narmaya, you have to make like several errors in order for them to lose. More so if you're losing to them in a first or two. Whereas if you fuck up once versus Belial, you might have just lost the round. If you fuck up once versus Lancelot, you might have just lost the round and gotten steamrolled. Charlotte fuck up once or twice, steamroll. Fuck up versus Voss. Tempest could tell you the story about the one time he fucked up versus Voss and then he just died. So I feel like the margin of error when you're fighting like top tiers versus bottom tiers is like kind of heavily skewed. So that's why I put Narmaya where she is, because I feel like I can fuck up multiple times and then still be fine. Like I have to like.
But she can kill you in 2 hits though.
How easy are those 2 hits to get?
Actually, let me jump in and say this. Narmaya's corner combo is actually one of the most damaging corner combos in the entire game.
Like
she actually has like a kind of a one-shot combo. It does a lot of damage.
It cycles cooldown too.
Yeah, I understand this, but I'm saying, okay, so let's talk about Narmaya.
Whoa, hold on. You're saying how easy it is to get the hit?
No, I'm talking about so Narmaya. I feel like if I ever see a person cornered versus Narmaya, it was you were cornering Narmaya, and then they did EX dash into EX whatever the fuck they wanted to do. You did not block right, and now you're in the corner. It's not she just put me in the corner. It's I cornered her, and I went dirt brain, and now I'm the one in the corner.
I understand that, but 2 things. Number 1, I think that's strong even of itself that she can just flip the situation like that in the first place. And number 2, I also think that her throw actually pushes you to the corner pretty far. Actually, the Oki isn't quote unquote the greatest thing ever, but it's still you're still plus enough to do meaty versus throw. So I actually think after 2 throws, you're already in the corner and in range to die, as long as you didn't tech one of them. So it's like, yeah, I think her corner carry on her normal confirms are also pretty decent. So I don't think her getting the corner is actually that big of a deal.
Also, I want to say she's plus on like a lot of things, like a lot of things.
Oh yeah, the 2M. That's one of the big things too. Her 2M is very good.
She has ways to like mental stack you like pretty hard. Honestly. I mean, just coming from like a Zeta point of view, where Zeta's offense is like nothing, hers is like way better, like pretty good, in my opinion.
So wow. But outside of that, I don't think there's really that much hot takes in my thing. Also, I didn't want to make it seem that like while Narmaya may be slightly better than Luane and Ladiva, that if I try to put her slightly above these two, that the bottom row would be implicitly C tier. So I tried to keep everything within the B tier coloring. But yeah. I think Tempest is the last one.
I think so too.
Do you think?
Dang.
That's crazy.
Left to right?
Okay.
I'm asking, is it left to right or right to left?
It's left to right. So, example, Lancelot best in that row, Beelzebub best, Catalina best in that row. Yeah.
Okay. So your bottom 3 is Luane, Matera, Ladiva.
Yeah.
Okay. Any hot takes?
Um,
I don't really
Let me
see
see.
any. Not that I could.
Not too many that really matter
Stand out.
aside from Zeta, maybe, but that's like this looks pretty standard.
I think a lot of people think Zeta's top 5. So.
No, so
You have her top 4 though.
Yeah, because she's more stable than your dumb character.
So the only thing that I see here, like that are like standing out to me, is nothing really prominent, but it's just like swapping two characters that are right next to each other. So for me,
exactly, and obviously there's not a big difference in power between characters that are next to each other anyway. Like for example, Fairy and Arm, it's like the same thing to me.
So
it doesn't really matter.
I would probably swap Voss Zeta, and I possibly. So the only thing that would probably be like outlandish would probably be swapping Percival with Narmaya. But
that's fair.
Yeah, so switch Voss and Zeta and Percival and Narmaya, and I'd probably agree with this wholeheartedly.
Yeah. What's up?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up?
Oh, why? So you're the only person with swords not in bottom 3. So I'm curious as to why that take.
I think that character. So I've subbed him, right? So I actually think that character is pretty good. I don't think he's like quote unquote actually good, but I do think that he has a lot of things that can imply a lot of threat, which can enable him to win games. I think his major problems are the fact that I actually don't think his matchup spread is absolutely terrible, but I do think he loses to some characters way too hard. Like again, Charlotta stories, Voss stories, Ladiva stories, all terrible, which is like whack. Like, why do you have 3 matchups that you just want to avoid straight up in tournament? So I think that's his biggest problem, along with a couple of other things. But overall, I watched the Japanese stories players. I actually see them doing decently well. I don't think he's too bad. I think he's interchangeable with the rest of bottom 5. I definitely would not swap him with Cagliostro or something, or probably not Gran either, to be honest. But yeah, I think those 3 characters, Gran, Stories, and Lil Wayne, could swap, but I personally would not swap Stories with Gran. I actually kind of like Gran.
Okay.
So I want to say counterpoints because I think this is pretty interesting and maybe that is true. But so Matera's doing way better in Japan than Sora is, right? So if you're gonna take the results route, I don't know. I think Matera does better. There was one Soris in top 24 for Rage.
For Rage, yes.
But I saw that match and like literally the guy just kept holding up forward against the Diva and the Ladiva the anti-air and he still lost. Like
that match was funny. So the thing about Matera is, I think Matera is a case of people piloting a character who's probably not as good, but they make her seem stronger than she is. I think Taichi and Io are amazing.
Yeah,
like both of them are extremely good, like extremely good. Obviously Taichi got second at Evo for P4U2 and has been a strong fighting game player for years. So, and I don't have too much background on Io. But I've seen
EO is a Street Fighter 4 god.
Okay, but yeah, so so again, those 2 players are extremely powerful, and I think they make Matera look better than she actually is, but they make her work due to the balance of the game being overall pretty fair. I also do think that it's a fair argument to say that Matera results can you could argue, she's probably a bit better than this, but I just personally think her matchup spread in this version is not. It's not good. I just personally think it's not good, so that's kind of why I put her there. But I do think she's piloted by 2 of some of the best players in Japan and even in the world. So
yeah, I agree with that.
They're extremely good, and yeah, like I remember seeing Io versus Ren, in last Rage, Summer Rage. And Io did extremely well pinning down Ren and making sure he couldn't do a lot of stuff against Matera, because that matchup is not even easy like that. And I remember when he also fought Ladiva, he did the same thing against Koji Kagla in Summer. So again, these players can do amazing things despite the character maybe not being as good as other characters, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thought on that. I do think again
that's fair.
stories can move around, but yeah, that was kind of my thought process on all that.
Not cool. Appreciate the insight.
Yeah.
So do any of the this is Tempest's list.
Yes.
Yeah, my microphone's still working. Cool. So let me see something really quickly. This is mine, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Is that everybody?
Again,
Yeah.
any characters you could just make them work for the most part. I mean,
Yeah.
To
I agree with
reiterate what literally everyone has said while posting their list, there isn't anything lower than B tier, and any character can
Mhm.
do damage. But the higher up you go on people's lists, the more consistency and results you'll see, to be honest. Also a bunch of net play to consider that it's just impossible too, so whatever. People were really quick to complain that Charlotta's doing well in tournaments was just because of online, but saying Materas are doing well because they're good right now. But that's just me saying things.
what makes a character bad? Well, I wouldn't say any characters are even bad like that, but I do think matchups do play a big role in a lot of our lists because I mean, again, if we're comparing every character, we should be looking at matchups. How many matchups do you win? How many do you go even with? How many do you lose? So it's kind of like if you go even versus a lot of characters, but you aren't winning, you're probably a decent character, but that doesn't mean you're top tier, right?
So, for example, Bace's tier list has Belio winning every matchup, so that's why we can all agree that he's number one. Whereas if we look at someone like, let's take Naji's tier list, where Gita only wins versus 2 characters, versus, let's say, Vasaraga's tier list, where Vasaraga only loses to 2 characters, it'd make a lot more sense that Vasaraga would be higher on the tier list than Gita, if that.
Yeah, and of course, matchups are not the only factor. For example, Realize argued about Ladiva because, I think Realize admitted, her matchups suck, but what if she touches you? I mean, I don't think anyone's going to deny that getting command through loop by Ladiva is fun. So there's different arguments for different tier placements.
Yeah. So
and since everyone here, besides Teiga and Omni, play different characters, everyone has their own unique biases as well. They view the game differently on a fundamental level, even at times. So it really just depends who you ask.
Ironic that the 2 people who play top 2 characters in the game would have a pocket character, but shit works out like that, right? That's funny as hell. Do you guys have any questions to the panelists themselves, me, anything you want to know? Oh, so who's running the fade? Who are you trying to run the fade with? Because
dang,
wait, what?
Max want to run the fade. I think he's trying to run the fade with anyone that did not put Ladiva bottom 3. That did put Ladiva bottom 3.
So anyone not realize
and me. So so you can either get rushed down by Tempest or get mauled. You get rushed down by Tempest, lamed out by Bace, scooped by Fame, or poke. Oh no, you're not getting poked to death by Real Flame.
Can you please what? That is not my name.
Your name is Real Flame. Until you put in some sort of work with a character that uses ice, your name is Real Flame.
All right, I'm gonna play Lancelot. It's all good.
I want to see this.
Someone asked if we're gonna talk about the patch notes comments. I'm not gonna lie, some of those comments got me really tilted. They pretty much said, "Yeah, I don't like how you use Demon Flip, so we're gonna change it." What?
I didn't personally read most of them, but
if we're gonna talk about this, I have what I want to see.
all I'm gonna say is with Gran, when we first got patch notes for this version, before the version came out, I told Fame and Tempest in a voice call, I was like, I bet you they did this because of this, right? And when those developer comments came out, it was exactly that. And with that in mind, they think very simplistically for their very complicated video games when they balance these.
I just want to find. Hold on, let me see if I can find it because I went over this. I was like discussing this last stream. But there were patch notes that said that Percival's fireball was too strong, and the fact that
Yeah, I
he gets.
agree.
I mean, pre-patch, I agree. Like, hold on.
Excuse the fuck out of me. How is Percival?
Fireball was really strong, but I think he needed it, to be honest.
All right. So here's so if this is about where we're gonna go, right? So if people think that Percival's fireball is too strong, I think they honestly did not lab versus the fireball, because most people's mindset was, yo, if you're in the corner, right, and he's doing 5H fireball dash, people's response was to think of, how do I avoid the 5H, right? That was that was the wrong response to begin with. You should never be thinking about how to deal with the 5H. You should be thinking about how to deal with the fireball, because the fireball was slow as shit. So the benefit to that is if you had a fireball yourself, you could just challenge his fireball with fireball, and you'd be perfectly fucking fine, and you would just resume neutral.
Correct. That's one of the things you could do. Some characters can also super through it.
Yeah, so I was like, how do people think? And then what makes it worse? Actually, y'all talk about this. I'm gonna find these patch notes.
So take it. So here's my thing, right?
Found them.
I understand there's definitive counterplay against the fireball, but it definitely for sure was too, like, for some characters, like, I know you play Cerise. Cerise dealing with that fireball is trash.
All right. So for some reason that was toxic. Now, if your name was not Cerise or Ladiva, that shit was toxic. But if you were anyone else, that was fine. But
like Charlotta. So you know what Charlotta could do? She could jump,
demon flip,
or whatever. She can demon flip. You can jump, or you can super. So she had 3 options. But even in that sense, it was just like, damn, like, you have to play around this, and if you're wrong, it's like, whoop.
Hey, the craziest part is they made it slower, and people still want to fucking dodge the fireball. And I'm like,
no.
And I'm like, I made a whole video about why you should not be dodging the fireball. Why do people still dodge the fireball? All right, but that's not even the point I'm trying to get to, right? The point I'm trying to get to is this. All right, hold on. Let me see. I just want to take a second to acknowledge this. This is what the developers said, right? Belio, First of all, has powerful combos and a command grab, which was able to catch blocking opponents off guard. In order to prevent it from being abused, the frame advantage has been reduced upon causing knockdown from various attacks, as well as his 8th fireball, right? We also observed that Fireball's pressure capabilities in the corner were extremely powerful, leaving some characters with very few options on defense. It was only 2. The startup time for a light fireball has been increased to give defending players an opportunity to find an opening for escape. The end version of the end fireball has also been changed to cause a stagger on grounded hit. This makes it harder to apply wake-up pressure and push the opponent to the corner using the skill. However, attacks enhanced by orbs by stock will still have knockdown properties, right?